You have heard from a friend about AWS certification, and you may wonder if it is worth to study for it and write the exam or not. You may already be a cloud engineer, already working with AWS products and services, and you may wonder, are you getting paid the market rate or not? So in this short video, I'm gonna share with you some of the research that I have done. I have checked different sources, and I'm gonna share with you in the next few minutes. And it should show you if it is worth the return of investment. If you haven't done the AWS certification, you haven't written the exam yet, if it is worth to invest the time, do the exam or not. So first of all, let me share with you some of the other factors that play in how much you get paid. One is the years of experience. How many years you have experience in the industry is a factor in how much you get paid as an AWS certified engineer. Also, other qualifications that you have, how expert you're in the language or frameworks that you're working with on a daily basis. The other factor is your location. Some cities and locations are more expensive, the cost of living is higher, and therefore you get paid more in those locations. Another factor is market, and by market I mean the time that you go to the market. Overall, AWS and cloud market is getting hotter and hotter, but if I go to market this month, there might be 5 jobs that fit my resume and my qualifications. Next month there might be 10 or less. So that's what I mean by market. But overall, the market is hot and the demand is there for AWS engineers. And last is your position, the position that you're applying for. If it's a junior position or if it is a higher position, a senior position. Actually, last one is negotiation skills. If you have hired an agency, a recruiter that's negotiating on your behalf, or you may have got 2 offers like you, or you have warm leads, that gives you an edge in negotiating your salary. So I just want you to be aware of these other factors, and you don't discount them because they make a huge difference on the numbers that you can ask from your employer. Now, the most comprehensive report that I found is from Jefferson Frank. They are an agency and that are experts in AWS recruiting, and I found the report the most comprehensive one that's publicly available. There might be others out there. This one was very detailed, and they provide many different information besides number. And some of the actually fun facts that I want to share with you is that more than 50% of people who hold an AWS certification have a degree in computer science or relevant fields. Actually, some from the other 50% have IT. So in total, it's actually more than 50% of people who have an AWS designation, some certifications, they have a degree in computer science. 80% of them a bachelor degree or higher degree. 80% of the whole people who have AWS certification, and were interviewed by Jefferson Frank. Bachelor, masters, or PhD, 20% of them don't have a bachelor degree. They might attended boot camps or other sort of trainings. And another interesting fun fact is 85% of the people who were surveyed, overall they are satisfied with their role. And that's an interesting fact. I don't mean, and I don't interpret it as like I get a certification, AWS certification, to be a happy person and I live happy ever after. I just consider it as a positive signal that people who invest time, do their certification, add it to their resume, there is a higher chance for them to get better jobs and probably be overall more satisfied with their role. Now, in terms of numbers, Cloud Application Architect makes $182,000 based on this report, and that's for someone who has 4 to 8 years of experience, not someone very junior or very senior. The report shows 3 ranges of data for 3 categories. In this video, I brought you the numbers from the mid-range, which I think gives you a good idea, and also like if you're more senior, you can of course like make a judgment how much you can make based on this, or you can refer to the report itself. For an application developer, the report says that a cloud application developer makes $127,000 on average, and a DevOps engineer makes $131,000. All the numbers, by the way, are for US market, but again, it should give you an idea if you live elsewhere, the ranges that you can make. And a full stack engineer who holds an AWS certification makes on average $125,000. This again shows you the importance of the position. So if I am a full stack engineer who does hold an AWS certification, it's different from if I am the main architect for the application, being holding a more senior role in the team, and of course high responsibilities. So again, touching on that fact. Now the next one that I checked is Robert Half. On Robert Half, I couldn't find the numbers that helped me with this video, but one relevant fact is that there are several different supporting findings and data that shows AWS is among the top in-demand IT certifications today. That's from Robert Half. From Global Knowledge, I'm sharing with you some numbers that these numbers are actually you can find them in many blog posts and articles that write about how much an AWS certified engineer can make. They usually refer back to this Global Knowledge report, and based on this report, a solutions architect makes $148,000. This is for a solution architect professional. As you know, there are 3 associate degrees, and this is how much a professional makes in average. For an associate, for solutions architect associate, they make $130,000 on average. And that's actually the same for other associate certifications, meaning for developer associate, AWS developer associate, and AWS sysOps admin associate. All the 3 associate certifications almost on average make the same, being $130,000. And a DevOps engineer makes $137,000 US. The next one I checked is salary.com. Based on salary.com, the range of salaries that people have reported holding an AWS degree, an AWS certification, is between $113,000 and $134,000 US dollar. Next, Ziprecruiter. From Ziprecruiter, $130,000, $131,000 US dollar is the average nationwide in the US. Next one, Indeed, reports cloud engineers make $115,000 US dollar. And then I went to Reddit and went through some of the conversations people had and the numbers that they have shared, because as you know, the most trustable source are those surveys. Usually people are hesitant to share numbers, share how much they're making, unless it is anonymized. On Reddit also, because it's a little bit like sort of anonymized, people do not reveal their identities. Yeah, I got some numbers from there as well. There are some outliers. Some say I'm making 90, some say claim even they are making 250, but on average the numbers that I found most common are between $100,000 and $150,000 USD. So in short, in terms of numbers, I found the range between 120,000 USD to 150,000 USD for the US market to be the most common range, and 130 if you want to pick a number to be the average. 130 seems to be the number based on all the reports that we reviewed. Again, I want to remind you that it very depends on your position and the other factors. Actually, in terms of position, AWS Cloud Practitioner, it is designed not only for cloud engineers, but also for people who need to talk this language more and more and deal with it on a daily basis, such as a CEO or someone in legal team or an account manager, salesperson. They are getting more and more involved in cloud and they need to know the language. And if actually someone from this group gets the AWS certification, they can definitely stand out in the crowd. And this list, I got it from AWS white paper for Cloud Practitioner. So it is designed, Cloud Practitioner, it is designed as the first step for someone an engineer who wants to get to the AWS certifications, or for someone who is non-technical, but they need to make themselves familiar. In short, does it worth it to do the test? Does it worth to invest and prepare for an AWS certification and write it? I would say the answer is a firm yes. It's definitely worth it for two reasons. First, you will fill the gap in your knowledge. Even if you're already familiar with AWS and you are already working with some of the products and services on a daily basis, still, when you write the exam, you learn something. There are things that you haven't dealt with in the past. You at the very least, you know of their existence, even if it is not something that you need to work on the next day. At the very least, you know that they exist, and at the right time, you can employ them. The second thing is that if you're working with AWS and cloud, why not showing that the proof that you have that knowledge? Of course, the certification is also not enough. When I'm hiring for my team, I definitely seeing someone has an AWS certification, it gives me some level of comfort. But then I look at the rest of the resume. Do they have have they identified any indication that they have actually applied their knowledge somewhere in their work? So that's definitely important. But showing the certification also goes a long way. And at last, if you are planning to write the AWS exam, I encourage you to download the flashcards that I have prepared for you for free. I'm dropping the link in the description. Also, feel free to check out the other surveys. For the flashcards, it's basically a PDF file that covers all the concepts you need to know for Cloud Practitioner, and as well as many fundamentals that you need to know for any associate certification. I hope you learned something from this short video, and it gave you some idea about how much an AWS certified engineer makes. Best of luck with your exam.